What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, your host. So today when it comes to watchOS, I'll be happy to let you know that we actually had a software update that was available to both developers and public beta testers, and I've already updated my watch. I unfortunately updated by a mistake. I couldn't get to record for you, but it's been a couple of hours since I updated, and you can see the new version that I'm on, watchOS 11.4 with the build number 22T5244A. Keep in mind, when it comes to a build number that has an alpha, it means that this is more of a stable build or version of watchOS compared to the previous couple of betas that we've been testing. Since this is beta 4, it's most likely going to be the last beta we see before the release candidate version, previously known as the golden master version, comes out. But yeah, you saw the build number, and I've been testing this for maybe like 4 hours now since the update came out, and this version was actually released among other updates such as iOS 18.4, iPadOS 18.4, macOS 15.4, tvOS 18.4, and of course visionOS 2.4, and all these are beta 4 versions which I cover here on the channel. So if you want to keep up to date, then definitely do hit like and subscribe so that you stay up to date. Now, a few of the new things that I actually noticed once I updated my watch to this version, there are a couple of fixes that I noticed. So the first one has to do with in messages, because some people actually reached out to me saying that they couldn't see the new updated emojis that were updated on the newest iOS 18.4 beta version. So if you update your iPhone, if you update your Mac and your iPadOS to the latest versions that I just showed you, you'll be able to see them. And on the watchOS version, initially they were not showing up, but if you actually go into your watchOS version and you update to the latest version, you can see, I went through just to show you which way you might see some of them. There's about 9 different new emojis that were added, and you can see this one, for example, face with bags under eyes, just to depict tiredness. It's there. If I send it, boom, you notice that one shows up right there. And then maybe just to show you a few more that have been added, if we go, I believe, to like the vegetables or something like that, you notice that this plant that you see right there, that's actually a new one of those emojis, and if you send it, you can see how it looks. And in fact, there's 9 different new emojis that have been added. You can see in the instruments section, we have a harp, we have the sock flag, newly updated flag that you can see to depict one that's current. And yeah, now you can see that they show up on your watchOS keyboard, and you can choose and be able to send them to yourself. The second thing that this update fixes, especially if you were using like an iPhone, you can see my iPhone is right there. And then if I open my Apple Watch and then go to this application right there, you can see even though my iPhone is open, it just opened the rear camera because it was the last one that I used when I was testing this. If I go to the front and then click done, I haven't touched my iPhone, but you can see, this camera is now working, and this is good because before there was an issue where if your iPhone was on the lock screen, just like just if I was to lock it like this and then place it on the ground just like that, and then go to the camera app on the watch that accesses the iPhone, it would sometimes revert to a blank or a black screen, and that issue seems to have been fixed, at least for me, when it comes to this update. There's a user that reached out when the beta 3 came out, because I updated to it and I tested it. They mentioned that they were experiencing some touch issues with their Apple Watch devices, but at least for me, when it comes to this update, I can go into here and then I can go into my keyboard, and then if I try and type something, you notice if I just try and scribble around just to show you that my touch is working, it's working good. And I haven't actually experienced problems. Sometimes what might happen is if you have a screen protector on your watch, I actually do have one on my Apple Watch Ultra right here. It's it's kind of hard to show, but yeah, I do have one. Sometimes what I notice is that the screen protector might actually get in the way, and yeah, mine I think is on flash, which is really good. But I always keep this Pitaka carbon fiber case. This is about 2 years old because this is the Apple Watch Ultra 1 on. But if you don't and you notice that there's bubbles in your screen with your screen protector, that might cause some of your issues. And yeah, if you're wondering what this is the Pitaka carbon fiber Apple Watch Ultra case. And I have this bandletic band that I also use with my Apple Watch Ultra. It's also something that I was given by Bandletic, and it's held up pretty good. I wear my watch on a daily and I fixed up wearing it, which is pretty good. But other than that, that's how this update came in for me. I did check whether, I was getting notifications, as someone had reached out stating that they were not getting notifications after updating, and I am getting my notifications, which is a plus. And the last thing I wanted to highlight is a possible release date, and maybe we'll look into the release notes of this update as well, just to see if there's anything that Apple has mentioned. And you can see watchOS 11.4 beta 4 on the release notes here. Apple mentions a few deprecations, some new features to do with StoreKit, basically mainly for developers, and some resolved issues for StoreKit and known issues. And then there's more that have to do with Swift UI for developers, and for system calls there's a new feature that basically doesn't affect you as the consumer that much. It's more so for developers, and that's pretty much what Apple tells us on the developer page when it comes to watchOS 11.4 beta 4. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but the public beta version of this update is also available. So whether you are a developer beta or a public beta tester, you have the ability to go into your settings and update. And as long as your iPhone is on any public version of iOS 18.4, you actually don't have to update your iPhone before you update your Apple Watch. So that's a plus in that aspect. And now let's talk about a possible release date for this version of watchOS, because now you can see the build numbers are making sense and they are more stable, and I like this. So when is watchOS 11.4 going to be coming out? Well, based on what Apple has said in correlations to the other related versions such as iOS 18.4 and macOS 15.4, Apple has stated that this update is coming out in April. And right now, since we've been on weekly release cycles, you can see today being March 17, and we've been on a weekly release cycle for a couple of weeks now. So I'm expecting the next beta or the next release candidate version. It's very rare to get a beta 5 on a pointed update such as watchOS 11.4. Even with watchOS I believe 10.4, we only got up to beta 4, and then after that the release candidate version came out. So I'm highly anticipating the release candidate version of this update on March 24th, and then after the release candidate version comes out on March 31st, we might get this update released to the public officially. But since Apple has mentioned that this update is going to be coming out in April, it's possible they might not release the official version on March 31st, but rather release it on April 1st, just to keep that April release date as they've mentioned. But other than that, that's how this update is for me. It feels good. It fixes some of the bugs and issues I was experiencing, and yeah, new emojis and a couple of other changes. That's about it for me. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.